What's up, guys? I promised you to make this video. This is a story of what happened to me. This is going to be either a long video or a couple of parts because I don't want to make you sit through something long of why I ended up with dentures. So if you guys are new to my channel, what's up? What's good? I am Heather. I've been here for years, guys. Years. I do a lot of shorts now mainly. I answer everybody's questions over there. I give details. I talk about, what foods are great to eat, which most of them are. It's any problem denture related is 99% fixable. It's so easy, and a lot of people don't know that. So I'm here to give you the facts, the research. And I talk about dentures, anything medical, what I go through with my own stuff. Anything, if any questions you guys have related to anything medical, not just dentures, I'm more than happy to research if I don't know about it and give you guys the info. I want to help people. And I feel like there's not enough outlets for people to go to get the help. And I don't want people to suffer the way I did. I don't know how I'm still alive. I just recovered from 50 pulmonary embolisms and collapsed lung, pleurisy. If anybody doesn't know that, it's like water around your lung or fluid. It's been rough. So, and I like to do cooking stuff and teach you guys how to cook. Try to make it easy for everybody. But anyway, moving on. So I wanted to explain to you guys how I ended up with dentures. So what happened was I have many autoimmune diseases. One of my severe ones is scleroderma. I have diffuse scleroderma, which is a bitch, by the way. She's a salty bitch. Like, my esophagus shuts. I have to actually have an appointment in 2 weeks to see a new GI doctor because my scleroderma specialist fired the last one. I'm supposed to get an endoscopy done every year and check everything, but I haven't done it in years. Because again, he fired my doctor. So it's a whole other video, but he was right to do it. So I'm not a hater on that. It's just hard to find somebody in my area. It sucks. So I'm meeting this new doctor. I didn't want women. People are going to be like, why? The last woman GI doctor I had before COVID, she's like, you have scleroderma? Yeah, I don't think so. I'm like, I see a world-renowned, scleroderma specialist. He even works with the foundation, got Doctor of the Year multiple times. You can tell me he lied to you? He lied to me. He lied to everybody. She was, a nasty bitch. And I don't know the other woman because it was 2 women. I'm like, I don't want either one of them. Give me a man. I feel like not all man doctors are good. So I'm not saying all women doctors are terrible. Absolutely not. I have good ones, too. But GI related wise, I've only known one, from my experience, one amazing woman. And mainly they were the guys who saved my life, were understanding and caring. They had way better bedside manner. So anyway, moving along, I have to get my esophagus ballooned open because right now it's really hard to eat or swallow anything because it shrunk down. So I got to get the ballooned open. But anyway, they put me on an autoimmune suppressant called Cellcept to slow down my disease. Now, it worked for the disease, but my dentist cleared me saying everything was fine. Obviously wasn't. One of the teeth that go into the sinus cavity. Now, not everybody's teeth, guys. First of all, this story is rare. It's my story. It will not happen to you. Do not panic and think you're going to die. No, I'm just explaining what happened to me, my special circumstances. It's most likely 99% won't happen to you. So I want to make that clear when I continue on with the story. So not everybody's teeth, like the front teeth or whatever, go into the sinus cavity. Mine did. One of them, the side one, was in there because I have long but curved roots, which didn't even show up on an x-ray. It's how I broke my bottom jaw, but that's a whole different story. I had a sinus infection that went down to here. Now, an autoimmune suppressant means it's going to take away your immune system. It crashes it down. So, because an autoimmune disease is a connective tissue disorder. It's basically your immune system hates you. It's the best way I can describe it in easy terms. Your immune system attacks itself. So when you slow down your immune system, you slow down the disease. Hopefully, that is the main objective. I was put on Cellcept. I was put on a lot. I was on... Shit, do I even remember? I was on... a few thousand milligrams a day. I'm trying to remember how many, but I can't. It's like 3 maybe. Whatever, I don't remember. But I didn't have symptoms. Now, remind you, I have no immune system, so that means no fever, because fever is what helps you to determine something's going on. I didn't even have pain. It felt weird, but I didn't have pain. But it's like I kept going to the doctor and like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. Kept getting ear infections now. And because everything is connected. So I ended up going to the dentist and he drained out one of them. It was a tooth in front. Now he told me the tooth I complained about, it wasn't the tooth. Needless to say, it probably could have all been prevented because it absolutely was the fucking tooth. We found out the day of extractions. Because he drained the other one that was next to it, which a lot came out, by the way. A lot. It was bad, guys. So bad. But every 2 weeks I was getting another tooth out. And he's like, no, it's not this tooth. It's not showing it. I'll tell you that in a minute. So after months of me getting a tooth out, I looked like a jack-o'-lantern. So depressed. At this point, pretty suicidal. But to me, my suicidal was not that I wanted to hurt myself. I was mentally there, but not to the point where I would never do that. I would never harm myself like that because I have kids, don't have the balls to do it. I would never do that and leave my kids like that, have them see me like that. Would never do that at all. But I was so in that level of depression that I just wanted to not be here anymore. So it came to the point where he was like, Heather, we're going to have to go for dentures. We can't keep taking out your teeth every 2-3 weeks. One tooth here, one tooth there, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. You know, we had to get my insurance to approve it, do all this. Now it was 5 months, guys. I was on clindamycin. Because if I got off of it, sepsis, I would have died. It was such a bad infection. And we couldn't figure out the source, so they had to all come out. And, I mean, they were all going bad one by one. One by one. They were all going bad. Man, it's rough. It's bringing back some shitty memories. But, you know, I was like, all right, let's do the mold. Let's get everything done, blah, blah, blah. He went away out of the country to visit his family. I think it was in Africa. I'm not really quite sure. And he came back January 2nd. I want to say he came back. And that's when I got it done. Or maybe January 9th. Yeah, because it would have been New Year's. So it was the week after, which was like January 8th, I think it was, or 9th. One of those. So I was sitting in the waiting room, and I took Ativan prior. So I'm going to recommend it to you guys. Everybody basically has dental anxiety. Everybody does. Because it's not a doctor you see all the time. You're supposed to be getting cleanings every 2 weeks. Every 6 months, twice a year. You're supposed to be getting cleanings, period, for people who have teeth. And even people without teeth. We still need our gums checked. We still need to do all of that. But it is best to get your cavities fixed, guys. To get it done. Because you're still going to end up going there to get the tooth removed. So why destroy your confidence when you could just get it fixed? Guys, get it done. You know, there are things you can do. You can ask your primary doctor. Because no dentist will do this. They will not give you Ativan. Unless you're seeing an oral surgeon. And that's for surgery. But my regular dentist took out my teeth. And it was a rough consequences, like, of what happened to me. But I asked my primary. She's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I totally get it. I would need it too. So I took only a 0.5 before I went there. And now at this point, I was excited but nervous. Excited to be done with this shit. Because the pain, guys, over time, 5 months of this shit, I had to stop CellCept immediately. I have never been on an autoimmune suppressant again because it almost killed me. My teeth were healthy. So I started it, I want to say, April or May, CellCept. And I was starting to feel like a twinge here and there for a couple months. And then, like, August, I saw my primary, like, a lot. Because I knew something was going on. I was like, bro, something's wrong. Like, we got to figure this shit out. And it was a fucking mess. I went to the dentist. She's like, Heather, it's your mouth. You got to go there. And that's how it all started. So from, we'll just say August, September-ish, all the way through the second week of January, is when I got it done. That's a long time. It ruined the holiday. Like, everything was fucked. So fucked. But, I was there at the dentist's office. I got in the chair. He's like, all right, Heather, you're my first patient. What are we doing today? I'm like, taking out my teeth, remember? Top teeth. Coming out. And he was like, yeah, we got to do that. So he's trying numbing me up, right? He got some of the teeth out, but the front teeth would not numb for shit. And that was because that was a sinus, blah, 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 blah. It just wouldn't numb. But the root was healthy. So if you have healthy teeth, they're a bitch to come out. Rotted teeth are easy to come out. Healthy teeth are a pain in the ass. So getting out my teeth, he was like, listen, Heather, these 8 won't come out. Like, they won't numb. I've given you all the Novocaine I could possibly give you legally. So he was like, I could send you to an oral surgeon, which will probably take months. And then I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that. I'm like, we already have the denture made. It's already sitting right over there. I'm like, if I took out most of them, except for these, I already looked retarded. Sorry for saying that word, but seriously, at that point I was livid. So I'm like, I already look horrible. We're not doing this. I'm like, we're not doing the oral surgeon thing. He's like, if we're going to take them out, I'm going to work as quick as I can. But it's going to be the worst pain you've ever felt in your life. And I'm like, probably, but I've been through a lot of shit. So even he told me, he's like, Heather, I think you're the most badass woman. Because I've never seen somebody take that the way you did. And he was like, hold on to my arm. Don't let go. Squeeze if you need to. We're going to get these shits out. And I'm like, let's rock on. So he got everything he needed to in thing. The nurse didn't want to come in and see this. I was cool with it. I don't want to see it either. So we're good. And I still remember the pain. It was the most intense pain that I felt like my brain was going to explode. And it was like over all body. It was just fucking horrible pain that shot up to my brain. Like, guys, oh my God, the pain was horrible. So he was pulling them out and it was hard to come out. So hard to come out. I'm like, do you need a minute? Do you need a break? He goes, no, let's get it done. Because they were hard to come out. And that's mean healthy, but the teeth part was rotting out. But the root was, it was a mess. And he finally got them out and he's like, bite down on this. So I bit down a bunch of gauze. I was just bleeding profusely. And when I mean profusely, guys, I mean, it scared him. And it took 30 minutes to slow it down to where he was okay. And I bit down pretty fucking hard. It was so traumatizingly painful. But I was glad it was done. I was relieved. I'm still cracking jokes at this point. I took pictures of my teeth, which I think I still have them in my phone. But like, I took pictures. I did all of that. Like, they were crazy. Because they were super long. I have super long roots. So they were in there. And yes, I have perforated sinus. And a perforated sinus means that when your tooth is in there and you have a hole in your sinuses, if, you know, he plugged your nose and you try to push air, you can feel it or he can hear it or it'll bubble where the blood's coming out of that you have air or whatever. So you cannot in any way blow your nose for whatever amount of period because you can have it a small amount, medium, or large where you need surgery. And I didn't need surgery, thank God. No, God, why? Thank you, Jesus. Appreciate you. I think he was like, girl, you've been through enough. We're not going to do that to you. I think that's what it was about. But when he pulled this tooth that I knew was the freaking tooth because I felt it eventually, it was just flooding with infection, just flooding. And I was like, that's the tooth, right? And he goes, yeah, it's the one they said it was. I'm like, always listen to your patient. Because just because you couldn't see it on the x-ray doesn't mean it wasn't true. Because it just proves it. And it's happened to many testing I proved. Like with MRIs and CAT scans. And I proved that those tests can be freaking wrong. They absolutely can, guys. Don't always believe those tests. Be your best own advocate. So, as I was cracking jokes, because it's me, and I was on the Ativan ferry, so I was feeling pretty good. Even if it was 0.5, which is like the lowest dosage possible. I don't like taking meds like that. I don't. And if it's going to be something, it's going to be a low dosage. I want to be aware. I want to be able to make choices and help myself in emergency. So I like to be in control of my life and to be where people could depend on me and I can depend on myself. So, with that being said, yes, it was a traumatizing experience, but I got over it. Um, that pain was rough, guys. I don't recommend it. And it's rare, guys. Novocaine 99% of the time works for everybody. But the reason why it didn't work for me is because the infection was so bad. Numbing can only help so much. It's like when you watch those pimple popper videos. Well, I do. I love that shit. And with cysts, they can never numb it fully because of the infection. And that was the same thing in my case. So I just was like, nope, handle this shit. Let's get it done. He popped my denture in. I mean, I looked like a Who's character. I posted it so many times here on social media. I posted on my Facebook, Heather B. Denture Diva. Posted in the support group. And I've even recently posted it in my community board if you guys want to check it out there. But I looked like a Dr. Seuss character. Like Cindy Lou Who. But I keep telling everybody in the beginning, everything's going to be out because of the swelling, because the gums didn't shrink yet. As gums shrink, the denture goes back and up. You will look normal again, I promise. Do not get it adjusted to fix that. Because when you do go back down to normal, and the swelling and the gum shrink and all of that, your denture is just going to disappear in your mouth. And when you smile, there'll be no teeth. Don't over adjust it. I always tell people, ask me questions first. Do not jump the gun because you don't know what to do. I'm here for a reason, guys. Just ask. I'm always here. My email is for everybody in the world to contact me. I will always be here. I'm always honest. I'm always real. I give the facts. You know, people ask my opinion. It's different from the facts. So I always make sure I give the facts first, and then I give my personal opinion. Because they're not always the same. Like when people choose certain adhesives, or they're like, no adhesive will work for me. If no adhesive is working for you, that means you need a soft reliner. If your denture's rocking, that means you need a soft reliner. If your denture's falling down, that means you need a soft reliner. The answer is always soft reliner, guys. Always. It's always going to be soft reliner. Like when people are like, oh, I can't wear my dentures. Soft reliner. For the first year of extractions, you should be getting the top denture done every month or two. The bottom should always be every month because that is the hardest one to maintain because gravity, all water and food goes straight to the bottom. Top is always dried and secured unless you're pushing water up there, gargling or doing whatever weird. So, that is my gist of my story of what I went through. It was rough. And I did that all alone. Raised my two boys alone while going through it. Everything in life I've done alone. I raised myself. You know, my siblings, my oldest sister's 5 years older than me. The other one's 4. And my brother's a year older, but he lived with my dad. And my other sisters were gone. So I raised myself. I was always independent and strong. Never relied on people because I had no one to rely on. And I just dealt with shit alone, and it sucks. It does suck because I can't trust people, especially family, or especially if I dated somebody. But I mean, Brandon now, he doesn't hesitate. He'll always have my back no matter what, and that's how you know you're with the right person. But I hope this story helped you guys. And guys, just hearing the story doesn't mean it's gonna happen to you. It won't, I promise. Mine was a rare case because of my diseases. You'll be fine. You will be absolutely fine. Numbing is no problem. Even when I did my bottom, which will be a separate story, numbing worked perfectly fine. 100% fine. So don't hear things on the internet and be like, oh my God, that's going to happen to me. Like, I hate when people talk about gagging with dentures, because when people are like, oh my God, I don't want to gag, I don't want to gag. And now mentally you're causing the gagging. Your denture is not in your throat to cause you to gag. So it's your gag reflex and your mental aspect thinking, oh my God, it's so common, it's going to happen to me, and you cause it on yourself. But I'll make separate videos and explain it all in detail to you guys. This video is long enough. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching my videos. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment if you guys like my videos. I mainly do shorts now because I feel like nobody watches videos anymore. So if you guys watch my videos more, I'll maybe make more videos if you guys want. Of course, if you guys have questions, comment down below, and I will answer. I love you guys. Later.